We now have a better idea of what might have happened to little Maleah Davis. New court documents lay out more accusations against her stepfather, Darian Vince, who is still behind bars in connection with her death, but has yet to be charged with murder. Lauren Tallarico is live at the Harris County Jail tonight with the new information for us. Lauren?
Well, this new allegation is in addition to past allegations that he hit her with a blunt force object, threw her to the floor. In addition to other abuses, he's also the one who led police and authorities to her body. So why hasn't the DA stepped up the charges?
Justice for Maleah!
It's a rally cry that united thousands and turned Houston pink.
Justice for Maleah!
But nearly 6 months after Maleah Davis's death, there is still no direct charge for it. 27-year-old Darian Vince is charged with tampering with a corpse and bodily injury to a child. Vince was the 4-year-old's stepfather. At first, he claimed kidnappers had taken the girl, but later led police to her body in a trash bag dumped on the side of a road in Arkansas. Her cause of death was ruled homicidal violence, but he said it was an accident.
I have no doubt he'll be charged with some form of murder and probably capital murder.
Now, new information listed in a grand jury court document that Vince restricted Maleah's airway the day she died, in addition to other physical abuse. So why haven't the charges been upgraded? Should they be?
The government's building its case step by step, piece by piece.
KHOU legal analyst Gerald Treese says the DA may be taking their time for a reason.
As soon as they indict for capital murder, then suddenly the time frames change. They've got to put that man to trial, and his defense lawyer starts acting like a defense lawyer.
So for now, while evidence is still being collected, the DA is not up against the clock. But once a murder charge is filed, a defendant has the right to a speedy trial.
What's going on, everybody? Sugar and Spice Topics. I just wanted to give you all some facts and update on Maleah Davis, who was murdered, unfortunately, at the age of 4 years old. There's updates that went up today, and I just wanted to make sure I knew what was going on. Darian Vince is currently in jail because he is the one that's responsible, but he has not yet been charged for murder. And there's questions as to why, as you heard on that video, people wanted to know why he wasn't charged with murder. But I feel like it's not all his fault. I mean, it's pretty clear to a lot of us that they need to investigate Brittany Bowens, and I'm not sure why they're not. But let's go ahead with the article and get this rolling for y'all. Court sheds new light on what happened to Maleah Davis before she died. New information has been released detailing what happened to 4-year-old Maleah Davis before she died. We knew Maleah was injured when Darian Vince, 27, allegedly hit her with his hand in a blunt object. But court documents released Friday say Vince also blocked her airway with an unknown object. Vince, the child's stepfather, remains in jail, charged with tampering with a corpse injury to a child/serious bodily injury. At first, Vince claimed kidnappers had taken the girl. Nearly a month later, on May 31st, Vince reportedly shared where Maleah's body was to community activist Quinell X in a jailhouse meeting. Maleah remains were found in a trash bag dumped on the side of an Arkansas road. Her cause of death was ruled homicidal violence. However, Vince claimed it was an accident. I have no doubt he'll be charged with some form of murder and probably capital murder, said KHOU legal analyst Gerald Treese. Treese believes the district attorney's office is taking their time on the case for a reason. As soon as they indict for capital murder, then suddenly the time frame changes. They've got to put that man to trial, and his defense lawyer starts acting like a defense lawyer. Treese explains that while evidence is still being collected, the DA's not up against the clock, but once a murder charge is filed, a defendant has the right to a speedy trial and the clock starts ticking. People just need to take a deep breath. Justice will be done here, I think. How many of y'all think that Brittany Bowens needs to be investigated? How many of y'all think she got something to do with it? A lot of us think that because she acted very suspicious in her interviews. And I'm just like, why won't they serve the people that's responsible for this? I mean, the woman wouldn't even answer the questions right. It was a question asked, what do you love about Maleah? And she couldn't even answer the question. During this, with this picture you see, when she did this interview, not all the news media people, they not all sharing the actual full video. She didn't know she was being recorded, if y'all recall. She was acting normal. She wasn't sad. As soon as she asked, is this recording? Her mood changed. And then she started fake crying because there was no tears. And she says, I just want to pass out flyers. I'm not going to answer any questions. This is so suspicious. And I'm very appalled at the way they're not holding other people responsible. It was, even when she was on that live with her friends, her friend asked what time she actually left to go to the airport. This woman did not leave. What did she say? Around 8:30 a.m. The situation with Darian on camera caught with Maleah shows him going into the house with Maleah nearby. So wouldn't that put her in a house when Maleah was coming in the house? I just don't get why, you know. Everybody has something to do with this, needs to be held responsible. Out of her own account, she was still in the house. But they not looking at her. I find it suspicious that the mom was on the picture with the police officer, the sergeant leading the case, hugged up on him. It makes me feel like there's some kind of relationship involvement that's allegedly going on, and they're not trying to charge Brittany because he's whipped up. I don't know what to think. So again, Maleah was born to Craig Davis, and look at her condition when she was living. She was being abused. She had several brain injuries reported. CPS took her out of the home at one point. There's obviously was abuse in that home before Darian even came in that home. So there's no reason why they should not have Brittany under investigation and arrested. I'm just waiting for Injustice Investigations to pick this up because, you know, this little girl touched his heart. So make sure y'all check out Injustice Investigations because he's always on the news and the latest. Other than that, let's just pray that everybody that did something to this little girl gets what they deserve from God. Okay? I love y'all. Peace.